Hi, kids leaders. Thanks for watching this. I hope that this helps you to prepare for your first week in May. We are going to continue on in our Discovering Jesus theme. And for this week and the rest of the month, we're going to be using multiple passages. So this is this really fun curriculum that I found. And I hope you guys like it. It's a different way of teaching. So Tanya and Mike, who will be teaching the story most of the month, it is a different way of teaching. So I just want to let you know that I will go ahead and send all of May's lessons to you guys so you can look them over and see. All of it has like add-ons, and there's a lot of class participation. So I guess we'll have to see how that works with our classroom. Maybe this first week will be kind of like our guinea pig week, and we'll see how that works out. And then later on, we can decide if we want to do it a little bit differently. So actually, you're the experts, however you want to do that. This week, our question is that we're going to be discovering is who is Jesus, and what the prophet said about him. So we will, you'll have your story. It's all written out here. It's very interesting. I think that this curriculum did a really good job of talking about how some people said that Jesus was a prophet. He was a great prophet, or he was a wonderful teacher, or he was just a good man. And we're saying, well, yeah, that's awesome. That doesn't sound like a cut down, right? You're saying Jesus was a good man. Of course he's a good man. But because Jesus is God and so much more than just a prophet or just a teacher or just those things, he is actually the Son of God. It is actually insulting to call him just a prophet. And we talk a little bit about how at Crossroads in the kids department and at Crossroads across the border, we believe that what the Bible says about Jesus, that he is the Son of God. And so it's written in your curriculum. I think it's a really good thing for the kids to hear that, because I think it's hard to understand, like if somebody says, Jesus was a prophet. Well, prophets were good, and that's super cool, right? Or Jesus was a teacher, or Jesus was kind and good. And he was definitely all those things, but he's so much more than that. It's like saying, calling the president, this is what it says in the curriculum, calling the president of the United States the president of a fifth grade class. Like, neither of those things are bad, but the president of the United States is here, right? And a fifth grade class is down here, so you can see where that might be a little insulting. So it's all in there. I thought it was pretty interesting. Obviously, you can add some of your own views and talk a little bit about that as well. We do have a couple parts from the Bible, obviously. So it's John 14:6. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through me. And that is what I've decided to put for our monthly memory verse. So that's going to be in there too. You will, if you're the teacher, you'll start off with a whole bunch of pennies. You'll actually have 456 pennies, and I'll have a little tray out for you. And if before class I just don't know how this is going to work for us. Before class, what the idea is that you're going to pick a couple kids to come up at a time and start laying out the pennies, right? So right now they're in rolls. So I guess at 11 o'clock they won't be in rolls if you choose to do this, Tanya, at the 9 o'clock, but they're in rolls. And if you just want the kids to just lay them out flat, what we're going to do is have them lay down the pennies in rows so we can see exactly how much 456 is. And we're talking about the Old Testament had 456 prophecies that pointed to Jesus. Over 456, but 456 for sure that we know of. And so then at the end, hopefully, if all those pennies are set up really nicely, the kids can look at that. And that means more than just saying 456. You're going to actually see 456 pennies. And you'll see it's a massive amount. So if I were telling the story, if I were in charge of this story, I think that I would pick a couple of the older kids to start it off so that they can start off the pattern. And then maybe have one of the teachers be in charge of watching over that tray. And then when kids get a certain number out, have them go sit back down and bring another child up, but try and do this in a non-distracting way. This is my idea in my head. So I'm nervous that might be distracting. So obviously, if you think calling kids up during your story while you're going over all this stuff and having them play with pennies on a tin pan close to you, if you think that is distracting, we can certainly just set up a tray with 456 pennies for them to look at after the story, or so we can all do it all ahead of time, or we can just cut it all and not do any of it. No big deal. We can just leave them in their rolls and skip that part of it. So You are in charge of deciding what you want to do with that. Okay, and then as you're telling your story, this is for the storyteller again, sorry. As you're telling your story, you will have these pieces of paper. I have them for your classrooms. When you're back in class, these are all cut up into separate pieces because you can play a matching game with it later. But right now, just to show you in here, I have them written out here. It has the Old Testament. So we'll do this Old Testament prophecy number 2. And the Old Testament prophecy says, "Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel," which means God is with us. And that's in Isaiah 7:14. So everybody's going to be, all the kids are going to go, "What? What's a virgin? What's your virgin?" And I always say, that is a woman who was unmarried before she had any children, a young woman. Like, we don't have to you don't have to give the whole sex ed talk. So then in the New Testament, then what you're going to be doing is lining this up. And in the New Testament, it says, "In the 6th month, God sent the angel Gabriel to a town in Galilee called Nazareth to a virgin. And the virgin's name was Mary. And the angel appeared to her and said, 'Greetings, you are highly favored. The Lord is with you.'" And that's Luke 1:26-28. So we're going to talk about the Old Testament prophecy. You can call up one of the kids. You can have some of our helpers, the older helpers, go up. However you want to do that, just however it's going to run smoothly with your story. Call up one of the kids, have them read the Old Testament, and then hand them the New Testament card, and they can show where that happened in the New Testament. Okay, so I hope you're getting the gist of this. I'm sure I'm being a little bit too precise, telling you too much. When you go back to class after blessing, after worship, after everything, and you go back to class, you will have these in your classroom, but they're all cut up in like little cards. And you'll have a section for the Old Testament and a section for the New Testament, and they'll be separate. And I've actually given all the classrooms 2 sets of those in case you want to do something like as a challenge against each other, put them in 2 groups, or girls versus boys, whatever. And what you do is you have the prophecy 1, these are all numbered, and you can have them in order, and then you can have the kids go run, take turns finding the answer to that prophecy on the table. You can make it some kind of a relay, something like that. So that's your game. Obviously, when I did this, and it even says in the curriculum I read, it says if we're not worried about COVID anymore, but I guess we're kind of still worried about COVID. So if that's uncomfortable for you and you want them to do it individually and not have them work in groups, you can certainly do that. If you're worried about the kids being up at the table at the same time and touching each other and being around, you can certainly do it separately. Call on one child at a time, however you want to do that. All right. Then we have something kind of fun. I think that, I know we just don't have much time lately, but this is pretty fun. I have written, all the kids will have a blank piece of paper, and they'll have white crayons in your classroom. And I have written a secret message on this white piece of paper. And so, because we're doing detective theme, secret message, whatever, I thought this might be fun. So they'll all have paintbrushes, and you'll have some watercolors in your room as well for the kids to use. And so you'll just need little cups, and you'll just need to fill them up with water. And then after they've written their secret message, which I already did beforehand because I knew I would be talking to you guys, then they just get that wet, they get their watercolor working, and I haven't done this yet, so we'll see. If it doesn't work, you won't be seeing this video at all. So I guess if it doesn't work, I'll start something else and do a whole new video. But it looks like it's working. I might have got it too wet. And I might have done it a little bit. So maybe they're going to have to do it a little bit later. So, and it's still wet, but I don't know if you can see it there. Oh, this lighting is so bad. But it says, "Love Jesus." It has a heart and it says Jesus. Oh, it's hard to see it for you in your picture. All right, you'll have to take my word for it. This works. So they just take a little piece of paper, they write with their crayon, they write a secret message, then they take some color and they go over it, and I'm sure as this is drying it's getting a little bit better, and they go over it just lightly with the watercolor, and it shows their secret message. So can you see that? Oh, this light is bad. All right, take my word for it. It works. It says, "Love Jesus." Super cute. So that's all you have. I know it seems like a lot, but our time goes so fast. So decide what you would prefer to do with the kiddos and do that first, because you might not have time for your second activity. So if you have any questions or you have any suggestions or anything, just call me up, let me know. I will actually be out of town this weekend. So if you need anything this weekend when you're there on Sunday, you can ask Carrie or Caston and they would be happy to help you out. I'll also put their email in this email. I'll put their emails in the email so that you can get a hold of them as well in case you need anything on that weekend. But if you need anything before Friday, you can just call me up, text me, send me an email, and I will be happy to help you with any of it. So thank you so much for all you do for kids ministry. I can't wait to teach along with you again, and have a happy week. Thank you.